Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is, what is today? Wednesday, October 16th. It is 6:22 right now. Market's going to open up in about 8 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. And all right, looks like we are good to go. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Link is sent out. Like we are good. So as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. It's going to mark up the close by liquidity again. It's not really need for us to go super far back. And yep, to the 4 hour, down to the 1 hour, down to the 30 minute, down to the 10 minute, down to the 1 minute. And it looks like we are good to go. All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, October 16th. It is 6:26 right now. Market's going to open in about 4 minutes. I've marked up liquidity over here. Closest level of liquidity above is at 43,051, and the closest level of liquidity below is at 42,994. There's more levels down here, of course. We're kind of scattered throughout, but we'll see what happens here when market opens up shortly. So we got liquidity right there marked up. Come back to this clean chart a little later, mark up some structure. The same structure I drew from yesterday is still here. So I'll come back and identify that a little later as well. Let me check the calendar real quick. So we had some news over here at 5:30. Import-export prices, pretty much low impact. But I'll mark it up anyway. So we had news over here at 5:30. And that's about it. So, all right, guys, we got market opening up shortly. See who's here so far. Morning, Maria. Morning, Max. Morning, Johnny. Morning, Glenn. Morning, everybody. Looks like we are good to go shortly. So looking at the market from last night at the Asia session, range consolidation. had the London session range manipulation. So let's see. So it looks like this might go. Okay, I have an idea of like where price is going to go, but we'll see what happens here shortly. So um, in about a minute, I'll be able to tell you guys the direction of the breakout for today. Hey, CJ, morning. Yeah, Max said Apex isn't paying him out fast. Max just got another payout from Apex over here. Thanks for showing the proof so that people can stop worrying, right? So Max over here, he requested this 2 nights ago. He got paid out 13,750. Nice work, Max. Max has been killing it. So many consistent payouts. Just back-to-back payouts there. So that's all that matters, guys, of course, when you guys are trading with prop firms. So, all right, today's breakout is boom. Direction of the breakout was posted in the Zoom chat, guys. So we got market opening up in about 50 seconds. We have the direction posted in there. I don't like when market moves like this, like right before market opens, but we'll I guess we'll kind of see where this goes. We got market opening up in about 30 seconds. Yeah, I don't really like the big spike here on open usually. This tends to kind of screw with the market direction on open here. So we got market opening up in about 15 seconds. We got 10 seconds still market open. Market opening up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Market is now open. In the position right there, of course. Yeah, I don't like when it spikes like that.
Order
right
filled.
before market opening up because it kind of throws price off a little bit. See what's right. Probably have to make some adjustments to it because of that big spike. Small adjustment. Nothing too crazy. It's the same thing that happened yesterday. So if you guys remember yesterday, we had that big spike there on open. Same situation here. So you got the alert set up right there. And we will, I guess we'll see where this ends up going. So if you guys are looking to take, I probably would hold off on any scalping issues right now because you guys can see how the price is moving. It's like all over the place. This is this is kind of like a mirror image to like what happened yesterday. No like clear direction. You can see the liquidity right here got hit. So if you guys took any of this lower level of liquidity, looks like all of the lower levels over here got hit at 42,994, and then pretty much all these levels down here. So some crazy spikes right here on open. And we'll just have to wait and let this kind of play out a little bit. So I'm letting the trade breathe, of course, and then we'll come back to it shortly. Let me mark up opening price here so we have an idea where market opened from. So opening price was at 43,000. Yeah, my entry was kind of screwed on open because of the big spike on the opening move. But it's okay. So we'll just let this here kind of play through. Price is just spiking back and forth at the moment. Let's see if we have some structure here that I can maybe draw up so you can see where price might kind of bounce around from. Yeah, it's super, super unpredictable. Just like yesterday. I mean, same situation. Here is the clean chart. So you guys can see this is a messy open right here. Really no direction. Price is just kind of going back and forth between, I guess, both of these areas. And we'll see where price ends up flowing from here. Barack said, good day, Sean. Today we are trading opposite sides. Yeah, we'll see what happens, Barack. Price is coming back down, so that's looking pretty good. But again, it's a messy chart right now. So all this liquidity right here got hit already. I'm just going to clean it up. So if you guys took any of these levels of liquidity, there was a level right here, level right here, level right here, level right here. Yeah, I just realized there was a lot of slippage because I'm looking right now. Yeah, my entry was like way down here. So my slippage was super far off. It's a 30-point slippage. I don't even know how that even happens. No, that's crazy. Well, I mean, this week has kind of been kind of crazy anyways. That's sort of just how it's been for this week. It's super choppy and like just these big spikes on open. This is like literally what happened yesterday. And then it starts to choose its direction like as price continued to move along. So I'm just gonna let it be, of course. I'm not gonna touch anything. But yeah, the entry right here was super far below from actually my bad. I take that back. I wrote this in the wrong area. It was actually down here. The slippage wasn't that bad. My bad. I put the entry point at a totally wrong place. So the entry point was down here. Slippage wasn't super bad. It was off by 4 points. So nothing too crazy. Yeah, exactly. CJ said we're sandwiched between the sessions too. Yeah, exactly. There's like a bunch of sessions right here. There were sessions right here, session down here. So early when market opened, it was like a bit of a session sandwich. Sam's asking, where is my stop at? My stop is at 43,079. So my TP is at 42,879 and my stop loss is at 43,079. Entry point was supposed to be at 42,979, while my actual entry was at right here, 42,975. So, I mean, we'll see where price ends up going from here. It's really unpredictable. So I wouldn't really take any scalps right now, guys. I know some of you guys might be looking for some market flow V2s. If you really want to take them, I mean, feel free to take them, but there's just not much of a clear direction here, right? I mean, price can come up, come back down, come back up, come back down. There's just so much of a gap in space around this area that I'd probably be careful. So price pretty much came up and hit the upper level of liquidity right here. This right here, this blue line is going to be my stop. So that's kind of like going to be my hard stop where I'll be watching for price to push to. I'm hoping he doesn't push up there, but you know, I got to run the strategy as is. So that upper level of liquidity right there came up, got hit. Let's see if it fakes out around this area and then makes its way back down. So if price does make its way back down, the target price point is going to be opening price down here. It looks like price kind of lost its volatility up here. So, I mean, we'll see if it ends up holding or if it completely reverses. Ideally, of course, we'd like it to completely reverse, right? The only problem here is that it's right at the sessions. So whenever price gets to this area here where the session is at, obviously, you guys know there's a lot of manipulation that happens around here. So there's two things that will likely happen when price gets to this point. It's either going to come back down, bounce off, or it's going to break through it and push down to the next level, which is opening price right here, which is what we want to happen. And that looks like that might be the case here. Looking at the trade, I mean, it looks like this breakout might be a long breakout again, similar to what we had last week and the week before. If you guys remember, we had a breakout that ran until like 11 o'clock. And there we go, as price starts to swing right back down to opening price. This is ideally what we would like to see here. Price break below the sessions, retest, come back down. So this is why I was telling you guys, I probably wouldn't take any of those market flow V2s right now because there's just not really much of a direction right now. And anyways, it's right at the session, so you wouldn't be able to take entries right there anyways. That's just a red flag. So let's see what happens here. Perfect. Yeah, Sam said he's at 43.78. Yeah. So you're good. You have it set up at Sam. It's a point off. All right, so here was the zones that I drew here on the clean chart. There's not really much that I marked up on here. I just marked up the whole numbers. So basically over here at the 50 level and the 43,000 level, this is where price is now currently sitting and consolidating within. Not exactly the market conditions I was hoping for, but this is kind of what we're working with right now. So ideally, this is kind of what I want to see. I want price to consolidate around this area, break below, and then now consolidate down here, and then obviously push down lower into this bearish direction because our TP is down there. Where's our TP at? 42,879. Yeah, our TP is a little farther down, but that's ideally what I'm looking for right there. So, all right, let's see if this thing climbs back down. If this thing does climb back down, ideally, you want to look for some market flow V2s for a sell. There's not too much here with regard to red flags. I mean, there's red flags down here, but they're not as like bunched up as these right here. So price is currently sitting at the Asia high and the London low. Down here, we have the New York low, and then we have the Asia low down here. This liquidity doubles up as the sessions right there. So those are the target price points you want to hit, right? We had price fake out right here at the sessions. Now we want price to come down to the next sessions, down here, and then down here. First target, though, is going to be the opening price. So the first direction that we're expecting or we want price to push down to is going to be opening price. But you can see where price is stuck at. It's still stuck at the sessions right here down the middle. This is why we consider them red flags. We don't trade around this area. Price tends to get manipulated around there. And you can see it's pretty obvious. Price is having trouble getting past this area right here. So I would just wait for price to push away. If you're looking for some market flow V2s, wait for price to push away from these two lines right here. Otherwise, you're just going to keep getting caught in these fake outs. Let me check the calendar. There's nothing else going on today, so we don't really have much of a catalyst. No news today. Let's check CNBC. Any breaking news here? See what's going on with the CNBC news. So stock futures are a little change after S&P slips from record highs. Any updates right here? I'm just trying to see if there's any catalyst to really push price around. There hasn't been a news release since 46 minutes ago, so that's a pretty long time. We'll come back and take a look if there's any catalyst a little later. But going back to current price, again, price is now just sitting at these sessions. Like I said, ideally, we want price to kind of break away from this point and come down to opening price. And then once it comes down to opening price, we'll see this hopefully drop down further to the next levels of session down here. Either way, I'm holding the breakout till wherever it ends up going. There's just not really much here for me to... there's nothing that I can really do, obviously. It's a set and forget type entry. So ideally, I think the best case scenario here is once that sell signal closes, right? The sell signal has been pending for, it's been pending for like the past 5 minutes. So we've had the sell signal, or not the 5 minutes, it's been pending for the last 11 minutes, actually. So when market opened right here at 6:30, or actually, no, okay, the sell signal closed right here. And then it kept trying to close right here. So ever since this big red candle came up, this red sell signal has been pending. So it comes up, flickers, disappears, comes up, flickers, disappears, etc. I think once this here closes, I'm hoping that this is going to start to move in that direction, right? We need to have some sort of catalyst to really push price in our direction. The main catalyst here is really going to be the momentum because price is currently below the pivot. So it is shifting to a bearish bias. But the problem here is that there's no like push behind it. So there's no volatility. There's no momentum really pushing it further down. Looking over here at the divergence, the divergence has already shifted to a bearish divergence. So it's just needing that final push really to get it down even further. But again, we'll just kind of wait and see what happens here because there's not really much here to work with. Current time right now is 6:42. So if you guys are looking to take these market flow V2s, you guys feel free to take the entries. I just don't really recommend it because of the current direction of price. So, if you do want to take these market flow V2s, you're free to take the smaller entries. I would probably just go for the smaller ones versus the big ones right now because of the, I don't know if this will hold. So that's kind of the biggest thing there. I think it'll push 10 points, but pushing 60 points is is kind of tricky. All right, looks like we're just gonna keep waiting here. Yeah, CJ said the markets move better when the US banks were closed on Monday. Yeah, 100%. It was way smoother back then. Right now it's kind of just all over the place. There's a lot of stuff that's happening behind the scenes, of course, with the elections. Um, I don't know if anybody else is following the elections, but I think so there was some news with Elon Musk. I think he pumped like 75 million into Trump's campaign, and then there was another big donor that pumped like another 75 million. So like it's just kind of affecting the market right now because the policies that he's pushing and and obviously the stuff that's happening in the Middle East. There's just a lot of things happening behind the scenes. Um, I wish I could show you guys, but I don't want to share my email here. Let me see if I can maybe pull it up. And I don't want to pull it up because I'm gonna have to pull up my whole emails, like all my emails. All right, so I got stopped out for the breakout, which is all good. So for this week so far, we have two wins and one loss, um, which is not too bad. So we're all out of that position right there. Currently still in profit for the week, one net win. So I'm in profit basically 1,500 across all my accounts. The loss here was kind of expected, right? Like I said, we don't typically have like five back-to-back win days. The trade for tomorrow is going to be important because the trade for tomorrow is going to determine whether we trade on Friday or not, or whether I trade on Friday for my accounts. But yeah, there goes the first loss for this week. I'll go and take a screenshot of this and put it into our data, of course. So let's put that over here. And this will go. We haven't had a loss in a while. There we go. So unfortunately, stop filled right there for the breakout. If you guys are still looking to take the market flow V2s, it looks like we're having more of direction here. So if you guys want to take that entry, look for the retracement back down. The entry is going to happen right here at the 60 mark. So 43,060 mark right here. So if you guys are looking to take that, you have a couple different options here. We're starting to get a bit of a bullish push. See, like, so I'm gonna start paying attention to this here. This is what I told you guys is like right on open. I don't like when the market does this right before, like at the 629 candle, when you start to get when we get like a huge spike to the downside like this, it usually screws with the market, right? Because usually it's supposed to just be kind of flat, like the candle right before open is supposed to just be kind of slow, and then the breakout happens right after. Whenever this happens, I've started to notice this. Whenever this happens, the market gets kind of funky, like it just goes all over the place. So I'm gonna keep that in my notes. And then on my notes, I'm going to identify whether, these are days where we should maybe either just not trade it, or if they're days where we should maybe go the opposite. So, and this is why I don't count the 29 candle. So like I think Rashida asked me the other day, she was asking, why don't we take this the sell signal or the buy signal came up on the 29th candle. Like why didn't we take the trade in that direction? And this is exactly why, because you start to see some manipulation there. Because it shouldn't happen like this, where you get a big spike on the prior candle. You should get the big spike on the opening candle, not the one right before it. But we'll yeah, exactly. Rashida said every time we have movement like that, it loses. Yeah, exactly. So we'll keep that in mind. I'll put that in the notes when I put in the data. Um, Here, I'll actually put that over here in the stats. Price spike on 629 candle. Yeah, because if that's the key, then we could adapt to the market, right? If that becomes the case, we'll just skip the trades whenever they happen to come like that. Because this is kind of what happened 2 weeks ago as well. I just got to see if this is the case like majority of the time. Let me check the trade from yesterday if that happened too. So yesterday, so this is the problem because yesterday it actually happened too, but the trade won. So I would have to just pull data on it. I think our risk plan will be okay to pretty much. It wasn't as bad though. So the candle over here prior, this one over here wasn't like a huge one like today's. So this one over here did spike a little bit, but it wasn't like today's candle where this candle was huge and it pretty much gobbled up all the previous candles right here. So I'll keep that in the notes. If that becomes a case, then obviously we could do one thing or another. We can either trade opposite when that happens, or we can just skip the trade. I'll just have to add. I'll create another model for that. It's going to be tough to go back in the data because I didn't screenshot every trade, but we'll just see moving forward if that becomes the case. I'm hoping this just doesn't happen anymore. Maybe this is just an outlier where it happens like once every couple months. Um, or if it happens more often, then obviously we'll make some adaptations to the market. So there's still no market flow entries here, guys. The market flow entry is now getting moved up to the 100 point right here. At this point, I think price is a little overextended. So if you do want to take the market flow V2, I would probably go for a smaller TP stop loss. So instead of the 30-60 right here or 60-30, I would maybe go for the 30-30 or even go for the smaller 10-30. I think those would probably be the best option for you guys if you're looking to take, the market flow V2 here. And yet, I just added a new account to my accounts too. There's another straight to funded prop firm. They're an older prop firm that's been around for a while, but they just released straight to funded on NinjaTrader. So I just added one of their accounts. It's a slight drawdown. And they have smaller accounts, so it's all good. But it's not the way I wanted to start that account. It's another company called Perdia. If you guys look in the FAQs, I'll just update it whenever I use another prop firm. So let's see. Yeah, if you look at the FAQs over here, there's another one called Perdia. They've been around for a while, Perdia Capital. But they have, I don't have the details over here of like all of their news and stuff like that. They just released a straight to funded. The only problem that I would say is with them is that they only allow for one account. They allow for one account and it's only 100K. Max drawdown is 300, or sorry, max drawdown is 3,000. So I'm taking, I would still take the entry down here. So since the max drawdown is only 3,000, I'm only taking one contract. We have a pending sell signal right here, guys. So, I mean, personally, I'd probably sit out of this position. If this closes, then you just cancel your order. It's got about 18 seconds left on it. So if you guys are in this position right here, it's currently running. So if you're going for the smaller 10-point move, it is currently active right now. If that sell signal closes, you're technically supposed to close out for a small profit or a small break even. So it didn't close right there. It's still running right now. Looks like that 10-point move just hit full TP. So if you took that 10-point move right there, guys, full TP. If you took the 30-point move, it's still currently active right now. So the 30-point move is still active. The 10-point move already hit full TP, and the 60-point move right here is still active as well. So if you guys took any of these entries, if the sell signal closes, whether it be valid or invalid, you're supposed to close out for a profit. If you guys want to hold on to it, feel free to hold on to it. But again, this is a 60-point move right here. 30-point move just hit full TP right there, guys. So if you took the 10-point move or you took the 30-point move or you took both full TPs on those two entries right there. 60-point move here is still running. So again, if you're in this position, you have to actively monitor it because if that sell signal ever comes up, you're supposed to close out for a profit. So two of these hit TP already, 30 points, 10 points. That's a total of 40 points right there. If you're going for the 60-point move, you can look for that. If you want to double dip into the 10-point move, the next entry is going to happen right here at the 110 mark. So if you're looking to double dip into it, that's where the entry would be at. We'll continue following it as we watch it here. I'm going to go and take a screenshot of all my accounts over here real quick so that you guys can see my profits or actually my losses for the day. Losses for the day, but profit for the week. So the profits are still good for the week so far. All right. So let me just close my laptop now. Like I said, guys, I'm only taking the breakout, so I'm not really taking anything else here. Once the breakout's done, I pretty much just close up my computer and I'm pretty much good to go. So there is, again, the market flow V2 is still running. The 10-point move over here hasn't filled for the second time yet. If you guys want to retake it, looks like we'll be moving the entry up to the 20 mark soon. So if price continues to climb up higher, entry is going to get moved up to the 20 mark. It's currently still at the 10 mark, but we'll see what happens here when this next candle closes in the next 20 seconds. All right, let's see where we're at. All right, entry is still going to be right here at the 20 mark, guys. So if you guys are looking to take that 10-point move, it's going to be right here at the 20 mark. Again, if you guys are just joining, the market flow V2 already hit TP for the 10 points earlier. It hit TP for the 30 points as well. This is for the people who want to double dip into the 10 points here. So if you're looking to double dip back into it, the entry is going to be right here at the 43,120 mark. Looking for this to come down, fill it, come right back up. However, if a sell signal comes up, you're supposed to close out of that position for profit. So just keep that in mind. But I don't think anybody's still in this position. I think everyone's pretty much out, unless you're holding on to the big one right here, the big 60 points. So let's see what happens here. Again, price here is starting to go sideways, guys. So like this isn't much of a market flow type movement. Again, if the sell signal closes, whether it be valid or invalid, you're supposed to close out either for a small profit, break even, or for a small loss, depending on where your entry happened at. Again, we need movements like this for there to be valid market flow. It was moving like that prior, and then now it's starting to go sideways. So initially right here, price was pushing up, came down, came back up higher, and now it's starting to go sideways. So there's a pending sell signal right here, guys. Again, if the sell signal closes, you're technically supposed to close out for a small profit. Looks like the 10 points right here is about to hit full TP. So I'll kind of just follow that there. The 60 points is still in profit. So if that sell signal closes out, I mean, technically you're supposed to close out for a partial profit. This is another reason why I don't like taking the bigger moves because this tends to happen, right? You start to get some of this like sideways move. Price doesn't really move very directional. And these just aren't the conditions that you need for market flow V2. So let's go over here to the clean chart. The zones are now out here. So you can see price is really just consolidating between these two zones right here. It's 2 price points. There's no market flow here. It's pretty much the same market as yesterday. So like we talked about this yesterday, guys, price pretty much consolidates, breaks out, consolidates, breaks out, consolidates. There's not really much of a flow here. In order for you to take these market flow entries, you need price to really flow up, retrace, flow up, retrace, flow up, etc. And then vice versa, if you're looking for the sells, drop, retrace, drop, retrace, drop, retrace. But we're just not really having that right now. The sell signal still hasn't closed. It still looks like it's trying to climb back up right here. So, I mean, the 60-point move is still active. The 10-point move is still active as well, it looks like. Trying to climb back up to its TP right there. Yeah, it's kind of a dead market. So let's go over here real quick. These are the SR charts that I drew earlier, or I drew this yesterday, actually. I haven't drawn any new ones. Let me see if there's new zones down here. Yeah, I'll just update the zones down here. right, so looking at this right here, this is pretty much market structure right now in the 1 minute. Price kind of just sitting around this upper area right here. We're going to take out this middle zone. That's where price is pretty much consolidating. It's the same as what we have marked up over here on the clean chart. It's between the 150 and the 100 mark. So the 10-point move right here looks like it's about to hit TP, guys. The 60-point move is still running. At this point, I would probably stop taking market flow V2s. Once the TP hits right here, I would just stop taking them. If you want to hold on to the 60-point move, I mean, feel free to hold on to it, but you can see there's no direction here. Price is just going sideways. So you need market flow in order for you to continue holding on to that position there. All right, full TP on the 10-point move right here, guys. So I would just stop taking market flows. I wouldn't double dip into these anymore because there's just no direction. So pretty much for today, there was two 10-point moves that hit. That's 20 points total. One 30-point move that hit here. That's 50 points total. And then the 60-point move here that's still currently running. I mean, it's still active. If you guys want to hold on to it, feel free to profit. But like I said, the direction here isn't really in favor of market flow, right? It's just going sideways right now. So if you want to close out for a partial profit, it's basically at 30 points. You can close out for a partial profit. Otherwise, I mean, if you want to hold on to it, feel free, but hold on to it at your own risk. It's just we need price to be moving like this in order for it to be, legitimate market flow. That's not happening right now. Price is really just going sideways. It goes sideways, breaks out, goes sideways, breaks out, goes sideways, et cetera. It's not really doing anything here. So yeah, it's up to you guys whether you want to hold on to it. I'm not going to say that it's going to hit or not hit, but I just personally, I wouldn't take the risk, of course. You're already you're basically at full TP almost. So from right here up to here, it's already in profit about 40 points, almost 50 points. I would be more trusting of the entry if there was actual direction here. But again, here's a clean chart. As price continues to go back and forth between this range right here. All right. So if you guys are just joining for the day, today's breakout did not hit CP, unfortunately. It's the first loss for this week. It's expected, right? Like I said, this strategy is not 100%. You have to expect the losses. So let's start with Monday. So Monday over here, October 14th, we had our full TP for the breakout. Obviously, that was a good entry. We didn't really have any of that crazy movement pre-market. We had one net win there, right? Yesterday, we had a win as well, full TP on the breakout. There's two back-to-back wins right there. We had a net profit of 3,000 for the week. And then for today, unfortunately, first loss for this week right here. We had a big spike candle right before open. You can see right here, it's a big red candle. Big spike candle that pretty much engulfed all of the previous candles from London session. It caused a bunch of manipulation here on open. And then we ended up losing that trade, unfortunately. So for that trade for today, I lost 1,500. And then I'm still net positive in profit, 1,500 for the weekly profits. Because we had two wins, one loss. We're currently at one net win for this week so far. So accounts are still sitting pretty good for the week overall. There's just a couple of accounts here that are red. So the ones that are red here are the ones these are the two new straight to funded accounts that I had. These are red because I only took one trade on them. And then also this one's red down here as well because this is a new account that I added from Predictor Capital. So I have 29 accounts now, guys. It's a lot of accounts. 29 accounts, one personal, 20 Apex, 7 Tradeify, and 1 Perdia account. I'm just adding on whatever accounts, have whatever accounts support NinjaTrader and whatever has straight to funded. I'm not really doing evals anymore. I think the evals kind of take forever. So I'm just, whenever a company comes out with straight to funded, I'll just sign up to them and then add them to my copy, of course. All right, we're currently, price is still kind of sitting right here. The 60-point move is still active, so it's almost, nearly got to its TP, but not quite. So pushed up right there, got into profit about 55 points, is about 5 points away from the full TP. But again, the volatility here is pretty flat with regard to direction. And it's just going back and forth, back and forth. Looks like it's about to hit TP though. It's almost there. It's just going to be a matter of time. So, all right. So guys, just another reminder, tomorrow's going to be like one of the bigger days. Well, not a bigger day. It's going to be one of the days that's going to be important for us with regard to the breakout because tomorrow's going to determine, whether we continue to trade on Friday or whether we're done trading for the week. If you guys are not familiar with my risk plan is basically if I have two back-to-back losses, I stop trading until I have a win. And that's pretty much going to cut off on Friday. All right, guys, so full TP right here on the 60-point move. If you guys took that, basically in total right here, there was two 10-point moves that we took that came in. There was one 30-point move and obviously the 60-point move here. So if you were to do the math here, 60 plus 30, that's 90 plus 20, that's 110 points. So if you guys took all of the entries here that we covered for the market flow V2, you guys can see that it adds up very quickly. So the breakout's usually 100 points. For the market flow V2, this can add up to, you can add up to like over 200 points, like basically two breakouts. So if you're actively managing the position, you can double dip, triple dip, quadruple dip with these 10-point moves. Over here, we only dipped in twice because of the direction of price movement. This 30-point move over there, of course, same area. And then the 60-point move here for whoever was holding that. So pretty decent move right there for the market flow V2. Looks like a lot of you guys are pretty much done for the day now. These are the two main strategies that we look for here. If you want to keep taking market flow V2s, feel free to, they still come up, throughout the session, but the cutoff for this is around 7 o'clock. So for today, overall, the trades, we had a loss for the breakout. That was negative 100 points. And then right here, we had a win for the market flow V2, the big move that's plus 60 points, 30-point move that's plus 30 points, 90, and then these two right here for 110 points. So net positive for the day with regard to all the entries. I know some of you guys do take the breakout and you also take the market flow V2s. For me personally, I just take the breakout. So I'm at net loss for the day. Net loss for the day, net positive for the week. So not too bad. Hoping tomorrow's going to be a good day. So hopefully tomorrow's going to be a win. If tomorrow wins, then we'll be back in net to positive for the week for the breakout. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to hop into the chat. I'll keep looking for entries here, but like I said, until there's like more confirmation, right now there's some confirmation that price is moving up. But here's the thing that I'm looking to maybe see here. So if price climbs up higher, I'm looking for it to possibly consolidate and then maybe climb up higher and consolidate. But I'm not looking for market flow to continue pushing up. As you can see over here, price will consolidate like it did down here. Break out, consolidate, break out, and then it's probably going to consolidate again somewhere up here. So you just got to keep that in mind. All right. So other than that, see if there's anything else here for us to look at. Delete this alert. All right, so if you guys are looking to take some market flow V2s, I know it's after 7 o'clock, so this is what we consider risky time, guys. If you guys want to keep trading, feel free to keep trading. If you want to wrap it up for the day, feel free to wrap it up. The next entry is going to happen right here at the 160 mark. So at 43,160, this is where the pending buy limit should be set. If price climbs up higher, it moves up to the 70 mark. And obviously, we'll go from there. All right. And I wish it was tomorrow already. I want to take tomorrow's breakout so I can see how this week's going to continue on. If tomorrow's breakout hits, then we'll continue taking the breakouts. So I'm going to be taking the breakout tomorrow. Tomorrow's like the key day for this week. I'll take the breakout tomorrow. I'm hoping the breakout works. If the breakout works tomorrow, then we'll be good for Friday. and then we'll go from there. Like we've pulled from the data, guys, as you guys know, the data it yields about so without the 6 months that are missing, there's about like a couple months that are missing. Let's check the data set real quick. So from the data set over here, and it's not full months either. So we have, let's see, I'll just count the months here that are missing. So we're missing January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So about 5 months are missing. From the data sets over here, about 5 months are missing. So we have about so the win rate here is, where does it start from? So the win rate here minus 5 months. So 56 divided by 149. No, sorry, wrong. 93 divided by 149. So it has about a 63% win rate. And then when you factor in another 5 months, we probably add like another 5% to that. 5 to 10%. I mean, kind of depending on like what we would estimate it at. So it'd be closer to like a 68 to 70% win rate. So you guys have to understand when you guys are taking breakouts, it's not going to be 100%. You're going to have some weeks where there are going to be losses, some weeks that are going to be wins, but long term, it's going to yield profit. So like the main goal with with uh, the breakout is really to yield consistent profits, right? If you guys are trading with a prop firm, that's going to be like the best case scenario. That's what the prop firms really want from you guys. What you'll see there is that your consistency rate will be very high. Usually like a lot of these prop firms, they have like at least a 20% to 30% consistency rate. If you guys are only taking the breakouts like me, your consistency rate should be above 50% because the win rate's like 63 with missing 5 months of data. With the 5 months of data, it'll probably go a bit higher because you're going to count the wins, more wins than losses. It'll probably be closer to like a 68% to 70% win rate. So your consistency will be super high. So like we've talked about in the past, guys, there's two different, like you can either take the breakout or you can take the market flow V2s. The breakout's going to give you slower profits, but it's going to give you consistent profits that'll just yield month over month. So like if you're just looking for something that's like very consistent, you don't have to worry about it very much. You just take the entry on open, you let the breakout run to full TP or full stop loss. You're going to have wins and then you're going to have losses, but eventually long term, over a month's time or a year's time, you're going to have more profit. So your main goal with the breakout is really to just yield profit every month and then request payouts from, it's like a normal salary type payout thing. So you're going to expect like X amount of profits per month. With the market flow V2, that's where these kind of differ. So like we were saying before, with these market flow V2s, and there's another entry that just came up right here, guys. I don't know if it already hit CP. It's about to hit CP right there, it looks like. So that one right there is running. If anybody was looking to take it. Again, I don't really take the entries after 7 o'clock, but if you were to take an entry after 7 o'clock, it would be right there. But there's where these two kind of differ a little bit. It looks like it's about to hit CP there shortly. But that's how these differ because for the breakout, it's like once a day. While for these market flow V2s, you can take multiple entries throughout the day. You can take the 60 point, you can take the 30 point, you can take the 10 points. If you just want to keep taking different 10-point entries throughout the day, you can take that with a higher risk, meaning a higher contract size. I'm just going to take this off. I don't want you guys to think that I'm in a position. But yeah, if you guys take more entries here, like you'll see that there's more entries, but there's also a possibility of more losses. So you can make consistent slower profits with a breakout, taking it once a day when it appears, or you can take the market flow V2. You can take a little more risk, but the odds of you making more profit are very likely because you're going to have more opportunities to take entries. And then you can also increase your contract size higher because, the entries come up more often. So I think we did the math yesterday. It comes out to about a little bit more, not a lot more, but a little bit more. So sell signal closed right here, guys. This means that there's no more buy entries at the moment. Right here, you're gonna have to wait for the next buy signal to come up before you can start looking for some more buys here. So at this moment right now, there's just no more entries for buys. Like I said, my cutoff for these entries are 7 o'clock. If you want to keep trading after 7, that's really up to you if you want to keep going. But typically the window for these market flow V2s are going to be between 6:40 and 7 o'clock. The reason why we don't trade after 7 is because you start to see some of this sideways move. We had sideways move over here, but it becomes more apparent right here around 7 o'clock. It starts to become a little more heavier, and it doesn't actually break out anymore. It kind of just goes sideways until 8 o'clock. And that's just from the data that we pulled from like basically summer up until now. That's just how the market's been moving. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to hop into the chat. Otherwise, that's kind of like what we're working towards here. For me personally, I'm sticking to the breakouts from now until the end of the year. I'm not really going to change anything because I want to see how the data pulls. The data that we have here from December. So the data here from November to December is typically pretty good. I mean, what it looked like last year. So last year, late November over here up until December, early December, it's pretty decent stats right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 wins, and 1, 2, 3, 4 losses. So a net of 5 wins for that time period. Not the whole month of November, not the whole month of December, but whatever data I was able to pull. So I'm looking forward to consistency from here moving forward. It's just a matter of time, and I just got to hold on to the position, just like I said. I know, like yesterday, a lot of people were kind of tempted to pull out early out of the breakout, but for me, I'm going to hold on to it to the full 100 points, whether it hits or whether it doesn't hit. The good thing with today is that, let me see. So the good thing with today's entry, I like when it doesn't go back and forth like super heavily. So I mainly like when the entries come up and they go either straight in our direction or straight against us, right? Because that doesn't eat into your drawdown. You guys understand how the drawdown works. So like the drawdown sometimes it'll like for example, yesterday would have been a little tricky. But it worked out in our favor because it went against us. But if it goes in a profit and then it goes opposite, that's where it kind of messes up a little bit because it's going to eat into your drawdown a little more than you would expect it to. Only with Apex though, because Apex has a trailing drawdown. If you're trading with any other firm, most other firms have an end of day drawdown. So you don't have to worry about that. All right, there's no entries here right now. Again, if you want to take any entries, you have to wait for the buy signals to come up. Once that buy signal comes up, you can start looking for some more market flow V2s to the upside. But at this very moment, not really too much here to work with, of course. All right. So the volatility right now is starting to slow down a little bit. If you look down at the ATR, it's currently at 20 ATR. If this goes down below 15, then obviously market's like super, super flat. Kong is asking, what's your contract size for a 300K count? I use 3 contracts for all of my 300K counts, and even my 150K count with Tradeify. I mean, it depends on what your max risk is for those accounts. So the max risk on those accounts are 7,500. That's why the contract sizes are the same. I'm surprised that like Tradeify has such a bigger risk for the 150s, but I mean, it works in our favor. So yeah, I'm using 3 contracts for pretty much all of my accounts. The only account that I'm not using 3 contracts is the Perdia account because it's a 100K account and the drawdown on that is only 3,000. So I'm taking 1 contract on that one. All right, so we have a buy signal right here that just came up, guys. If you want to keep looking for some market flow V2s, I mean, for me personally, I'd probably like hold off for a little bit, wait for the market flow to kind of present itself. You want to look for some type of movement like this. But if you're looking to just hop in right away, the entry right here would be right at the it'd be at the 60 mark right here. I'd probably wait for it to push up a little bit more so that you can get in at a higher price. So the entry would technically be right here, but I would like it to push up a little bit more so that you can get in right here instead at the 70 mark. Pivots are following it, so it just needs to climb up a little bit more. The only problem here is that the volatility is so flat. So if you guys look at the volatility down here, it is still at 20 points. And I wish we could just fast forward to tomorrow's breakout. I'm just really curious to see how it plays out tomorrow. Um, yeah, that's the hard thing about taking just a breakout. Because if you're used to taking a lot of trades, the breakout's just once a day. So like once you take the breakout, it's you're like for me, I'm pretty much done. Like I got nothing that I can take. I can identify and I can mark entries up for you. What I'm thinking of maybe doing is buying a separate laptop. I already have a separate laptop, but I'm looking for another. I might get another laptop so that I can trade another prop firm. The thing with like Fast Track and a lot of these other companies, oh, and that's what I wanted to bring up too. So um, I don't know how true this is. I'm assuming it is because I heard it from a somewhat reliable source. But for you guys who are using Fast Track, the CEO he posted something on like I think Twitter. I don't know why he would post that, but they've been like kind of delaying payouts lately from Fast Track. I haven't used Fast Track yet, so I don't have an opinion on them yet. But if you guys are using Fast Track, their CEO said something along the lines of because they've been delaying payouts, and he said we'll start paying out once cash flow starts coming in. So like once they start making money from evals and stuff like that, then they'll start to pay people out. So that's kind of a big red flag, right? Because it sounds like they don't have enough money to pay people out right now. I don't know how true that is, but I just want to give you guys a heads up if you guys are using Fast Track. So yeah, because I know some of you guys here have started using Fast Track. I wanted to use Fast Track, but they just didn't have they didn't have they don't have NinjaTrader yet. So once they have NinjaTrader, I'll add them up. Otherwise, I'll have to buy a new laptop to just trade on the Quant Tower. But that's just some news that I heard from Fast Track. I'm not trying to bash Fast Track at all, but the CEO, they had a screenshot. Let me see if we could have it. He posted on Twitter, I think yesterday or a couple of days ago, because people are complaining about how they're delaying payouts. There's some people who've been waiting weeks, some people who've been waiting a month already for their payout. They got approved, but they haven't gotten paid out. Um, and basically, if you guys have been part of the Fast Track, the Discord, their CEO, he's like pretty blunt. So he'll like say whatever's on his mind, right? He'll tell people to be quiet. He'll tell people like he's pretty rowdy in the chat. Like he'll just say whatever he feels. And I think that day he would just feel like people are just complaining about payouts, and he just said he blurted it out. He was like, "We're not going to pay until we have more money coming in," meaning until they have more money coming in from blown evals and stuff like that. So I would be careful with Fast Track, guys. I haven't heard anything bad from any of the other ones yet, though. So Tradeify has been good. I have a personal contact with Tradeify. They've gotten paid out, so I'm okay with them. Apex, I think Apex is fine too. So I think the thing that's happening with Fast Track is that they're going through the same problems that Apex went through, right? Apex got big way too fast and they couldn't pay people out, so they kind of had issues. It's same with Fast Track. Fast Track is getting big way too fast, and they're get as like now they're starting to get good traders. So now that they have good traders, they're gonna have to pay out more than they're getting in from evals and stuff. So I mean that's always the case with a lot of these companies, right? They get big too fast and then they just can't control it, especially when it's a type of service where they have to pay people out for something. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. All right, there's nothing going on here, guys. Sell signal came up right here, so there's just, I mean, there's no direction here. Just like I said earlier, the price is just going sideways right now. In order for you to take these market flow V2s, you need to wait for price to really confirm that price is climbing, retracing, climbing, retracing, etc. If price comes down, that's fine too, but you need to wait for price to come down, retrace, come down further, retrace, etc. You can't be taking market flows and price is just going back and forth like this. What you can take is you can take V1 variations. So for example, there's a V1 variation that came up right here, double body rejection right there. Could have taken that for a buy, right? So if you're looking to take some entries here, I would probably just look for these V1 variations. Like I said, when market goes sideways, that's probably gonna be your best friend, right? V1 variations, reversal patterns, because that's gonna really give you the direction of where price is likely to push at least 10 points or so. So again, here's a clean chart. Looks like we'll have to draw another level up here. All right. So I'll clean this up down here. And this is kind of where price is sitting. Yeah, CJ said Fast Track is giving MFF vibes already. Their CEO should have just did a promo for their larger accounts like Apex did instead. Yeah, so I think that's a problem too. So here's the thing that you want to be careful for with a lot of these companies, especially with Fast Track, they've been giving a lot of promos lately. I mean, it's good, but then it's also not good because so you could kind of see the pattern here. When they put out promos like that, it looks like they're trying to rake in more cash, right? Like they're having a cash flow problem. That's and I can see that happening with Apex. So like with Apex, they were having issues paying people out for a while, right? Uh, I mean, they weren't like necessarily not paying people out, but they were like taking a while to pay people out. It would be delayed a little bit. So if you look at Apex now, there's no discount, so there's no promos anymore for let me open Apex. I mean, there is a promo going on, but you have to use my code. So I have the admin code, but for a regular person, if you just go to the Apex website, there's no more promo here. So if you use like the code that I have, if you go to the FAQs here on the Discord page and use this link right here and then use this code, this is the admin code, you'll still get the promo. But if you just go to the page like this, like if you're just a random person, you're like, oh, I heard about ATF or Apex and I want to trade Apex. If you go here and you try to buy an account, the accounts are super expensive now. Their accounts are like, so if you want a 300K account and you want to pay it full, it is for Trade of 8, it's 657 a month. That's pretty crazy, right? I wouldn't pay for that. That's like, I would never pay full price for this. But Apex had a promo that was going on pretty much like the whole year. They had a promo going on, I think, since February up until like last month. So what happened is like when they had those promos going on, a bunch of people kept buying accounts and they just kept resetting and they were just basically collecting money from everyone who's blowing accounts. They took the promo off because I think Apex is good now. They don't have any issues with cash flow. With Fast Track, they're having a lot of promos right now. It's like 40% off, 60% off, because it seems like they're trying to get the money flowing. So they want the money to come in so that they can pay people out. And then those people who just keep buying accounts, they just keep blowing it, right? Like I wouldn't recommend anybody to get a straight to funded account unless you're like actually profitable, because that's the people where that get screwed the most. It's the people who like they have like 1,000 accounts with Apex, they blow all Apex accounts, and they think just because they get straight to funded, they're gonna do better, and then they just end up blowing their accounts there too, and they cost more too. So it's like it's crazy, it's crazy. Like a $30 account with Apex is like doable, but yeah, $600 account with like a straight to funded, you're gonna be burning cash super fast that way. So I wouldn't recommend it if you guys are not like if you don't have a proven track record, I wouldn't go for the straight to funded, of course. If you're taking the breakouts, you should be fine. So if you just take the breakouts with me, I think if you do straight to funded, you should be okay. You just got to use a proper contract size, and you got to hold the positions to full move. Yeah, exactly. CJ said that's what I mean. The promos help them with cash flow on the larger accounts that take longer to pass. Yeah. Because what happened with Apex is that they had the promos mainly for the 300K accounts, right? And you guys saw how long it took me to pass my 300K accounts. It took me like at least 2 or 3 months to pass it. So you got to think about that. 2 or 3 months where they don't have to pay someone out. That's going to give them some time to make money from the account fees and then pay out the people who've been waiting. So I mean, it's a smart move. Like if you think about it, it was pretty smart what they did. I don't think a lot of people saw it that way. They thought, oh, I'm getting a promo or whatever. But it was really smart because with the eval phase, if you like, I thought about it yesterday and I was like, when you do the eval phase, you're basically doing straight to funded twice, right? Because you have to get to like, you think about it, it's crazy. If you do a 300K account, in order to pass a 300K account, you have to make 20,000. So you make 20,000, and then in order for you to get a first payout, you have to make another what's it called? Another 7,600 to actually get paid out. So you have to make a buffer. So I mean, realistically, if you're doing a an Apex account for 300K, you really have to make 28,000 to actually get a payout. So you got to think about it. Like to make 28,000 on an Apex account, that takes a long time. It'll take a couple months for just one account, and it buys them time to like build up cash flow to pay the people out from like the previous months. But I'm good with Apex. I think Apex is still solid. I can't wait until Apex has like straight to funded. That's going to be like game changer. Eventually they're going to do it because I think there's like 4 or 5 different prop firms that do straight to funded already, and their business model is good too. Like with Tradeify, their rules kind of suck, but the risk, like the risk to reward is like really good. So if you open a Tradeify account, it is. Here, I'll put it down over here. There's no entries, guys, so don't worry. You're not missing out on anything. If you want to take a market flow V2, I mean, feel free to take the entry. It's going to be right here at the 170 mark. I wouldn't really recommend taking it, but if you guys want to take it, you can take it right now. If you want to enter a buy entry, it's currently running. It's at the entry point. So if you want to enter like right now, you can. And this will probably push up and hit its TP. But yeah, there we go. It's about to hit TP right there. So like what I was saying with these straight to funded accounts, I base everything off the trailing drawdown, right? I don't it doesn't matter if it's a 100K account, if it's a 300K account, if it's a $1 million account. I don't base anything off that. I base it off the trailing drawdown. So like if you open an account with Tradeify for 150K, the trailing drawdown is 7,500. So and full TP right here on the market flow V2 guys, if you guys took that. So like with Tradeify, if you're doing a straight to funded with them, it costs about like 600. It's about 600 for an account. If you use my referral code or my referral link, it'll give you I think 40% off. So it'll end up coming down to like 400. So if you do that, you end up paying 400 to get basically 7,500 in drawdown. If you can just be consistent for a month, like I'm doing right now with the breakouts, you can get your max payout, which will be 3,000. So once you get that max payout, you pretty much cover the expenses for the account, and then you get profit on top of that. If you have 7 accounts, that is much profit is that like because you're going to be capped at your payout at 3,000 per payout. So 3,000 times 7. So you think about it, you'll be making X amount of profit. You pretty much cover your profits from whatever you paid for the account. And then on top of that, if you're consistent, if you're just consistently making profits every month, you're just going to keep getting a payout, right? You're just going to consistently get a 21,000 payout every time it's payout period. And then from there, they'll move you to a live account where you can just pretty much request payouts whenever. And then there's no rules for that. So it's all a racket, guys. Honestly, if you understand the racket, you can get around it. Like for me, I've understood the racket now. I understand how like these prop firms are making money. So I'm glad that I'm already funded on Apex. But now I'm only going for these straight to funded accounts because my breakout is going to be super consistent long term. And as long as I can just get that payout every single month, I'll transfer those funds to my personal account and then I'll scale on there. I'm not going to scale on my prop firm account. So I'm just going to leave them at 3 contracts. Right now I'm at, and the 3 contracts is not that bad. So every day I'm basically looking to make, let's see, and you guys got to be like okay with like this risk. So for me, I have every trade I'm risking 1,500. This is how much I'm risking on my personal account. This is how much I'm risking on my Apex. This is how much I'm risking on my Tradeify. So 1,500 times 29, right? So every day I'm either going to make 43,000 or I'm going to lose 43,000. I'm okay with that. I understand that that's the case for me because I have so many accounts. Um, so if you guys look over here from the stats, right? Like today I lost 43,000. Yeah, sure, it sucks, but I'm still up 43,000 for the week because I'm up 2 trades for the week. So for the week so far, I'm up 43,000, but for the day I'm down 43,000. Unfortunately, today wasn't a win. If today was a win, then I'd be up another 43. But putting that into perspective, that's all I'm looking to take. I'm looking to make X amount of profit. Every week I'm looking for a net 1 win. So every week I'm just looking to make this much, 43,000. I'll have like days where I lose, days where I win, but I'm hoping at the end of the week I have at least one net win so that at the end of the week I'll have this much to close out the week with, right? So yeah, you just got to understand the numbers. If you guys can break down the numbers, understand the risk for each entry, understand the win rate, understand the long-term goal, understand the risk parameters, the risk plan that you're taking, you can really like dial it down to a specific number. So if tomorrow wins, then we'll have 3 wins, 1 loss, and then it'll be basically the profit that was yesterday before today's loss. So 43,500 times 2, and that's where I'll be for the week. And then if we win again on Friday, it'll be 43,500. See, this is where I'll be at the end of the week if we have like, because the last 2 weeks we had 4 back-to-back wins. So this is kind of like where I was sitting. And then you could always run the scenarios through your model. Like for example, today we're currently at 43,500. Say for example, tomorrow wins, we'll be at here. And then if I lose on Friday, minus 43,500, I'll just be back to 43,500. So that's the good thing about one-to-one. With one-to-one, it's like you already know where you're going to be sitting, depending on your win-loss ratio. And you can run as many models as you like, and it'll usually balance out to profit long term. So, all right, guys, we're getting closer and closer to 8 o'clock. Right now, price is climbing up higher and higher. There's no entries right here at this very moment, but if you guys are looking to take another entry, next entry is going to happen right here at the 200 mark. 200 mark right there. So, all right, guys, if there's any more questions that you guys have, feel free to hop into the chat. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna wrap this up pretty soon. There's no entries for me to take right here. The market is moving slightly, but if you look down at the ATR is super low. So if it stays below 20 points, it's probably gonna be a slow climb to the upside. The thing that you want to be careful for is that even though price is climbing up like this, you want to be careful for price getting manipulated because eventually it's gonna slow down and it's gonna come down super hard. That's usually what happens. And then when it comes down like that, it'll either correct back up and then consolidate some more, or it'll probably continue climbing. Or, I mean, worst case scenario, it reverses completely. From how the market's been moving lately, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think the market's going to continue climbing up. Usually, once there's a direction set, it'll continue climbing, but it's probably not going to be a very smooth climb. So the entry is still going to be right here at the 210 mark if you guys are looking to take the market flow V2. And there goes that big red candle that I just warned you guys about, right? So I said earlier, look out for price because it's going to slowly climb up and then eventually it's going to come down super hard. And that's exactly what's happening here. It's the same pattern that's been playing out for this week. So if you're looking to take that market flow V2, I mean, technically it's still currently there, but yeah, nothing else right now. So All right, guys, if there's any more questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, once this trade is done running, I'll probably wrap this up for the day. Let's see, anything going on over here? Not really. Let's go back over here. Those zones up here. All right, so here are the zones right now. As you can see, price kind of came up a little bit, faked out, pulled back into this lower range that I was currently sitting in. Not really too much going on here. So yeah, that market flow V2 is kind of just sitting there. And there's not really much here to work with, guys. So just look out for the fake outs. If you guys are going to continue trading, I would recommend just look out for the fake outs because you can see over here, like if I'm to take this off right here and take this off as well, price is really just ranging between these levels right here. It's been ranging here since like 7 o'clock. So 7 o'clock right here, price broke into this range. And it's been going back and forth within this area since. Pushes up a little bit, fakes out, pulls right back in. There's just not really much here to work with. So like I said, guys, we still have 2 more days for this week. So I wouldn't continue like forcing any trades now. The last thing you want to do is give up a lot of your profits that you made earlier this session, right? So if you guys didn't take the breakout and you took the market flows from earlier today, all the market flows pretty much hit. The 60-point move hit, 30-point move hit, 2 10-point moves hit. So what I would personally do, and a lot of people always ask, like, what would I do in this situation? I would just stick to my game plan. My game plan is really to trade between 640 and 7 for the market flow V2s. I know some people want to keep trading after, and that's why I mark up entries over here. But for me personally, my window of edge is between this period right here. So if you want to stick within the edge and you want to make sure that you're taking like the best possible entries for market flow, just stick between 640 and 7 because that's when the market's actually moving. Once it hits 7, price tends to like just go sideways. So yeah. All right, guys, I think that's it for the day. There's just no need to force any trades here. I don't want you guys to get any ideas, taking anything that's too risky. So I'm gonna wrap it up. I'll come back tomorrow fresh for the next breakout. Hopefully tomorrow's breakout is gonna win. Again, tomorrow's gonna be the deciding factor whether I'm done trading for the week or if we continue trading until Friday with regard to the breakout. So. All right, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to reach out. It's about 20 minutes till 8. I'm not expecting much to happen here in the market. Price is probably just going to keep going back and forth like it's moving right now. And I think it's best to just wrap it up for the day. So, all right, guys, if you guys have questions, hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the